Louis Vuitton's Imagination has to be one of the most hyped up luxury citrus fresh scents on the market. And I gotta say, it is pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie, especially the longevity, just the intense richness of the scent. It is quite lovely. Some people I can understand considering it basic, but regardless, it's very well liked and it does perform very well on skin. The unfortunate thing about this fragrance is its price tag. This will run you well over $300. So it makes sense that we are looking for some more affordable alternatives. And I have three for you that are each slightly different. So let's break them down and you can see which one might be best for you and your wallet. So one of the newest ones for my collection, and honestly, probably the least impressive, but also most well-balanced one, if that makes sense, is Andalucia's Azul. This is an extrait de parfum. This is from a newer brand on TikTok. I don't actually know when they were launched, but this is an extrait de parfum. So I was expecting really beast mode performance from this, and it doesn't give me that. Does it smell very similar to the original Imagination? Yes, it does. A bit less focus on the tea though, and a bit more of the lemony citrus vibe that can sometimes, at least to my husband, he says it can feel a little bit like a lemon cleaner. And the projection and longevity is not nearly as close as Imagination, which is disappointing because it's an extrait de parfum. So this one would definitely be in last place. Now, if you don't have the original or any others and you're looking for a good affordable option, you already have this in your collection, it's still a perfectly nice fragrance, one that you can still wear, and I still think will get you complimented. But if we had to rank it against others, I would put this in last place. Next up, we've got an oldie but a goodie, Game of Spades Full House. So I really like Game of Spades Full House, but it definitely doesn't smell the closest to the original Imagination. This one is going to give you way more citrus than the original Imagination, which I actually really like. It makes it a little less heavy, a little lighter, a little fresher. The lasting power is definitely also going to be less than the original Imagination. This is a fragrance that I would wear to the gym. This is a fragrance that I would wear to go pick up my son from daycare. It's a lighter, non-offensive version. It's still, like I mentioned, very fresh. And because of the more citrusy vibe, I think it leans more in a feminine capacity than the original Imagination. Imagination is typically marketed towards men. I would consider it to be unisex, but unisex masculine leaning. This one I think is unisex feminine leaning, which I think is why I like it more for me. The projectional longevity on my skin is better than the Azul one, but definitely pales in comparison to the original Imagination. And then finally, we have the one that I think is going to be considered the best to most people, with one slight drawback for me, but this is probably going to be a positive for many other people. We're talking about Arabiyat Prestige's Marwa. Super cool bottle, by the way. This geometric shaped silver chrome thing that we got going on here, love that. Anyways, this one is really strong. On par with Imagination, maybe a little bit weaker, but on par with that on my skin for sure. It also is a little bit more masculine leaning than even the original Imagination. It just has, I don't know, an extra dose of that male cologne feel that makes it lean towards the menfolk a bit more. I would still say that you could pull it off. It's still unisex, but just know going into it that it's going to be a bit more masculine leaning than even the original Imagination, which is why it's not my personal favorite out of the lineup, but I can't deny its staying power. I can't deny how close it is to the original scent's profile, and therefore is most likely going to be considered the superior dupe to many people. So overall, out of these three Imagination dupes that I have in my collection, what would I recommend? I wouldn't recommend this one, to be honest with you, the Andalucia Azul. Don't get me wrong, it's nice, it's okay, but in comparison to the other ones, I wouldn't recommend it over any of them. It's just a little bit too lemony and too weak in performance and projection to really win anything. This one is a great option for anyone who's looking for a citrusier, is that a word? Citrusier version and more feminine leaning take on the DNA. It's going to be beautiful for that one, but I can definitely see a lot of individuals feeling like it's not a true representation of the original Imagination DNA. Marwa, I would definitely recommend to most people, even women, as long as, again, they don't mind an extra masculine tone to the overall fragrance profile. Do I think any of these beat the original Imagination? No, I do not. I still think that the original Imagination is better than all of them. This is not a situation where I would say the dupe beats the original. However, do I think that Imagination is necessarily worth over $300? I guess that depends on how badly you want a really nice, fresh, long-lasting scent in your collection. If you're the type of person who's like, I'm not spending over $300 for a freshie, then what I would recommend out of these three is to get the Arabiyat Prestige Marwa. It's going to give you a very close take on the DNA and give you the projection and longevity that you're looking for. But if you are someone who's like, I don't want a fragrance that's going to be more masculine leaning, neither do I, girl. So what I do with this one, if I want to wear it, is I layer it with Arabiyat White. Arabiyat White is inspired by Herba Pura by Xerjoff. Beautiful, very light, so it adds an extra layer of citrus and sweetness that will make the Arabiyat Prestige Marwa a bit more feminine if that's what you're looking for. And if you're a dude or you're someone who's okay with having a more masculine fragrance than just sticking with the Arabiyat Prestige as is, we'll give you what you're looking for as well. Do I think I'll repurchase Imagination? Probably not. I really do think I'll be fine with Arabiyat Prestige and layering with the Arabiyat White. It's a beautiful scent, but it's not a scent profile that I'm so in love with that I think I need to spend over $300 for. Let me know what you guys think about Imagination Louis Vuitton, if you think that it's worth the hype, worth the money, and if you have a dupe of it, what's your favorite? I'll see you guys back tomorrow for our next episode.